A New Path for Leo. Part 1. The Same Every Day. Leo lived in a small town. Every day felt the same. He woke up, went to work at a small shop, came home, and watched TV. He was not happy, but he did not know what to change. One morning, Leo looked at himself in the mirror. His face looked tired. His eyes were not bright. He said out loud, "Why do I feel so empty?" He went to the shop and did his work. He smiled at people, but inside, he felt nothing. A customer asked, "How are you today?" Leo smiled and said, "I'm fine," but he was not fine. That night, Leo sat in his small room. He looked out the window and saw the stars. They looked so far away. He thought, there must be more to life than this. He remembered a time when he was young. He wanted to be a writer. He loved stories. But people told him, that's not a real job. So he forgot his dream. Leo asked himself, can I still change my life? He didn't know the answer. But for the first time in many years he wanted to try. Part 2. The Spark of a Dream. The next day, Leo walked to work like always. But something felt different. He looked at the trees and birds. He noticed the warm sun on his face. These small things gave him a little hope. At lunch, Leo took out an old notebook from his bag. He had not written in it for years. He opened it and saw empty pages. Slowly, he began to write. He wrote about a man who felt lost. This man wanted more from life. The words came slowly, but they came. After a few lines, Leo smiled. His hand shook, but his heart felt full. When he went home, Leo did not turn on the TV. Instead, he kept writing. He did not stop for 2 hours. For the first time in a long time, he felt alive. The next day, he did the same. He worked at the shop, then he wrote. It became a new habit. His story grew, and so did his happiness. But some people started to ask questions. You look different. Leo, said his boss. What's going on? I started writing again, Leo said. His boss laughed. Writing? That's not going to change your life. Leo just smiled. He felt something inside a small fire, and this time he would not let it go out. Part 3. Small Steps. Big changes. Leo began to change little things in his life. He woke up earlier. He took walks in the morning. He read books from the library. Each day, he learned something new. He also wrote more. He wrote at lunch, after work, and on weekends. His story became longer. It was about a man who leaves his small town to find a new life. The story felt close to Leo's heart. One evening, Leo shared his writing with his neighbor, Mrs. Anna. She was kind and always asked how he was. This is beautiful, Leo. She said, you should share it with more people. Leo felt shy. I'm not a real writer, he said. You are now, said Mrs. Anna. Writers write, and you write every day. That night, Leo thought about her words. Maybe she's right, he said. Maybe I can be more. He looked online and found a website for new writers. They accepted stories from anyone. Leo felt nervous, but he sent his story. I'll just try, he told himself. I have nothing to lose. Then he waited. Part 4. A Letter That Changed Everything. 1 week passed, then another. Leo checked his email every day. He began to think. Maybe my story was not good enough, But then one morning, he saw a message. It was from the writing website. His hands shook as he opened it. Dear Leo, it said, thank you for your story. We loved it. We would like to publish it on our site. Leo read the message again. His heart beat fast. He could not believe it. Someone liked his work. Someone believed in him, he told Mrs. Anna first. She clapped her hands. I knew it. She said, this is just the beginning. Leo felt strong. He felt proud. He smiled more at work. He started talking to people about writing. One customer said, I always wanted to write too. Leo replied, you should try. Just start. That's how I began. He felt like a new person, not just someone who worked in a shop. He was a writer now. He had a voice. He had a dream. That night he wrote more of his story. But now he added something new, hope. His character also started to believe that life could change, because Leo now knew it really could. Part 5. New doors open after his story was published. More people began to read Leo's work. Some left kind comments. Others sent him messages saying, your story helped me. Leo felt something new confidence. He started another story, then another. He worked at the shop during the day and wrote at night. One afternoon, a woman came into the shop. She said, are you Leo, the writer? Leo was surprised. Yes, I am, he said. I read your story. I work for a small magazine. Would you like to write something for us? She asked. Leo couldn't believe it. Yes, he said. I'd love to. He went home and told Mrs. Anna. She hugged him. See what happens when you follow your heart, she said. Leo smiled. He looked out the window again, at the stars, but this time they didn't feel far. They felt close, like they were waiting for him. He still worked at the shop, but he was planning something new. He saved money. He dreamed of moving to the city and becoming a full-time writer. He did not have all the answers yet, but he knew one thing: he was no longer afraid. Part 6. The City Dream. Weeks passed. Leo kept writing and saving money. He made a plan would move to the city in 6 months. It was a big step, but he felt ready. He told his boss at the shop. I'm leaving soon, Leo said. I want to be a writer full-time. His boss looked surprised. You're serious about this? Yes, Leo said. It's time for a new chapter. His boss nodded slowly. Good luck, Leo. Follow your dream, Leo smiled. He packed his books, his notebook, and a small bag of clothes. He said goodbye to Mrs. Anna. I'll miss you, she said, holding back tears. I'll write to you, said Leo, and I'll send you my next story. The bus to the city was long, but Leo looked out the window with hope. He saw mountains, rivers, and towns. Everything looked new, like a fresh page in a book. When he reached the city, it was loud and busy. People moved fast, but Leo was not scared. He had changed. He believed in himself now. He found a small room to live in. He set up a desk by the window. That night, he sat down and started writing again. He wrote the words, "This is only the beginning." Part 7. Building a New Life. Leo's days in the city were busy but exciting. He woke up early, wrote for hours, and walked through the streets to learn more about His new home. He sent stories to magazines and websites. Some said no, but others said yes. Each yes made him stronger. He also joined a local writing group. They met every week in a small library. Writers of all ages shared their work. At first, Leo was nervous, but when he read his story, people clapped. "You write with heart," said one woman. "You give hope," said another. Leo smiled. "Thank you," he said. "That means a lot." He made new friends in the group. They talked about dreams, fears, and ideas. Leo felt like he belonged. One day, he got an email from a publisher. They said, "We like your stories. Would you like to write a book?" Leo stared at the screen in shock. A book? His own book? "Yes," he wrote back. "I would love to." He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. All the hard days, the doubts, the fear it had brought him here. Leo was no longer the quiet man in the small town. He was a writer, a dreamer, a doer. Part 8. A book is born. Writing a book was hard work. Leo spent many hours each day planning, writing, and editing. He wanted every word to be special. Sometimes he felt tired. Sometimes he felt unsure. But he remembered the small town, the shop, the stars. He remembered why he started. The story in the book was like his own. It was about a man who dared to dream and changed his life. It was a story of hope, courage, and new beginnings. After many months, the book was finished. The publisher helped him print it and share it online and in stores. On the day of the book launch, Leo wore his best shirt. People came to hear him speak. Some were fans. Some were just curious. He stood in front of the room, heart beating fast. "Thank you all for coming," he said. "This book is a piece of my heart. I hope it helps you believe in your own dreams." After the talk, people lined up to get a signed copy. One girl said, "Your story gave me the courage to write, too." Leo smiled. "That's why I do this," he said. As the evening ended, Leo walked home slowly under the city lights. He felt proud, thankful, and ready for more. Part 9. Giving back. After the success of his book, Leo didn't stop. He began visiting schools and small towns. He gave talks to young people who felt lost just like he once did. He told them, "It's okay to be afraid, but don't let fear stop you. Start small, one step, one word, one change at a time." Students listened with wide eyes. Some even cried. Teachers thanked him. One boy came up and said, "I want to be a writer." 2. Leo knelt down and said, "Then start writing, right now. You can do it." He also started a blog, sharing tips and short stories for beginners. Thousands of people read his posts. He received letters from all over the world. "You gave me hope. Your story is like mine. Now I believe in myself." Leo kept writing books and helping others, but he always stayed humble. He never forgot where he came from. He often wrote letters to Mrs. Anna. "You believed in me before anyone else," he wrote. "Thank you for seeing the writer in me." She wrote back, "You found your light. Now you help others find theirs." And every time Leo looked at the stars, he smiled, because he knew life really could change for anyone. Part 10. The journey never ends. Years passed, but Leo never stopped growing. He moved to a bigger apartment with more space for his books and writing. His desk still sat near the window. Just like before, he published more book stories full of hope, change, and courage. People began to know his name. He was invited to speak on TV and at big events. But he always said the same thing: I was just a man in a small town who decided to try. One day, Leo returned to that small town. He walked by the old shop where he used to work. It was still there. He smiled and waved at the new worker inside. Then he went to see Mrs. Anna. She was older now, but her eyes were still bright. You kept your promise, she said, holding one of his books. You sent me your stories. Leo nodded. You helped me believe in myself. They sat together, talking about the past. She said, many people live the same day again and again. But you chose a new path. Leo looked up at the stars one more time. But now they were not a symbol of distance. They were a sign of how far he had come. He whispered, the journey never ends. There's always more to dream, more to do. And so Leo kept writing, not just to change his life, but to help others change theirs.